we're pregnant. So this video is going to be me talking through how we found out, our journey of trying to get pregnant and all the struggles that came along with it, including we did have a very early miscarriage. So if you're sensitive to that subject, I would recommend you don't watch this video because I will be talking a little bit about my experience going through that. It's not something I openly talked about when I announced my pregnancy on other social media platforms, but when making this video I felt like it was important to address and discuss. I know when I was in the middle of going through it, or it had just happened, there wasn't a lot of videos out there talking about very early miscarriages. So very first cycle that we tried, I was very adamant about tracking my cycle and taking these ovulation tests to know exactly when I was going to be ovulating, because I was not messing around. I wanted to make sure I did everything in my power that I could to get pregnant. Before this, I had been on birth control. I had just gotten off of birth control, and this was my first cycle off of birth control trying to get pregnant. Just some background there. And starting from February 9th, which was I think 9 days past ovulation or something crazy like that, I started trying I started taking pregnancy tests, just because I had seen all these videos of these women being able to find out super early with these pregnancy test kits, and I wanted to see if I could also get an early positive. On February 12th, I took a regular pregnancy test. The other ones had been negative. I hadn't been able to see any kind of faint line or anything at all, so I thought this one was going to be no different, but little did I know I was gonna be in for a surprise, so I'll let that clip play here. I feel like my attitude has changed so much with these tests, since I'm testing early and I've been getting negatives, but I know that it's because I'm testing early. The video stopped recording because the timer went off, so it's time to look. Okay, there is a solid line. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. It says yes. It says yes.
Okay, it's just a little something.
It's not for you to do. Not for you either, for me.
No way! No way! That's awesome!
So I really wanted to see the line getting darker, the pregnancy line getting darker as the days go by, which it's supposed to do as your levels rise, or hormones, whatever. I'm not a doctor, so can't really tell you exactly, but I know generally it's supposed to get darker. So I was taking the pregnancy test every single day, and then one day I noticed it wasn't getting any darker. It was just kind of staying the same, and then the next day it had gotten lighter. So that's when I started to kind of feel like something was wrong, but I tried not to think about it. I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna stop taking these tests, because it was also around the time that Texas had this huge winter storm and we were without heating in our home for on and off for 2 days, and where I had these test strips, it got super, super cold and you're supposed to keep them, like they're not supposed to get under 39 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm not sure what temperature my house got to, but I just know it was really, really cold. So I thought maybe that was the issue and I didn't want to obsess over it anymore. So I stopped taking the pregnancy tests, and then so this was a week after my first positive. I woke up with really bad cramps, and me before birth control, I had like super, super bad, horrible period cramps, to the point where I would lay in bed for like 12 hours that day because it was just so like debilitating to me. Like, I'm not even joking. If I didn't take Advil at the perfect time, then I would have like terrible pain the whole day. So that's one of the main reasons why I went on birth control, to control my cramps. And so that was what those cramps felt like that morning, and I knew that that wasn't okay. And so I went to the bathroom, and lo and behold, I had started my period. So I took a pregnancy test, even though I already knew what that possibly meant, and it was negative. I had no more second line, which was really, really sad. And I remember like we were just crying because, you know, it's like you're so excited and then it just gets taken from you like within a second, even though we had only known for a week. You're still like, imagine all these things, and we hadn't told anybody yet or anything. We kind of just dealt with it ourselves and kind of faced that reality of trying to get pregnant, which I know is super, super common, especially very early on. It's very, very common, and not many people know or talk about it. I think now more people are talking about it now, but yeah, I wouldn't have known otherwise if I hadn't been taking all these tests, but I did know, so it did affect me. And yeah, it was just hard, but I knew that I wanted to try again my next cycle. I was so ready and so prepared for this that I wasn't just going to accept that it wasn't going to happen this time. I went back and I tried again the next cycle. It is currently 9 DPO, which is the same day that I found out last cycle, before I knew I was going to have a chemical pregnancy, basically an early miscarriage. I originally wanted to wait until like I for sure knew I was gonna get a strong line if I was pregnant again. But last night I had this dream where I was carrying my child, like my baby, in my parents' house on their couch, and my baby was just sleeping on me, and something told me like I have to take a test today. Oh, we're still not ready. Oh man, here we go again. I'm happy and I'm hopeful. And I'm a little scared, and I think that's okay to say.
Again, yeah! Nice! Fuck yeah!
first trimester symptoms. This is going to be between 4 to 14 weeks because that's the time frame that I knew that I was pregnant. Before I got the positive pregnancy test, I didn't really feel anything. I didn't really feel any symptoms at all, but starting from like 7 weeks, I started to get nauseous if I would let myself get too hungry, and I would have to eat something right away in order for that feeling to go away. But that's the extent that my nausea or morning sickness came to. I didn't really have any. I didn't throw up at all, thankfully, because I was really afraid that I was going to like throw up constantly. So I'm glad that didn't happen, and that kind of stopped at like 9 or 10 weeks. Still happened occasionally after that, but it wasn't like an everyday, every meal, every time I get hungry kind of thing. From 7 to 10 weeks, I did start feeling very gassy, which meant a lot of burps, mostly burps, but also mostly from the other end, which is so funny to me because like it just comes out of nowhere and there's no reason for it. It's not like you had like a big tub of ice cream and now your stomach isn't acting right. It's literally just, you're just gassy. That's it. Also during this time frame, I started getting more acne on my face, which was great. I also started having to get up in the middle of the night to pee, and I don't know if it's just because I drink too much water or what, but yes, I would get up at like sometimes at 5, sometimes at 3, sometimes at 2. It's definitely something that's a little annoying. At 10 weeks, I had something weird happen to me that has never happened to me before. So I started not wanting things that I usually love to eat. For example, avocado. Before this, I could have eaten avocado with every single meal. In fact, I probably did. I would have avocado toast, and then I would have avocado with my lunch. I would have avocado with my dinner. I just loved eating avocados. They were my thing. And from 10 weeks on, I just did not want it. It's not that it grossed me out, it's just that it just didn't, I didn't see the appeal in it. It didn't taste like much to me. I'm like, this is just like not adding anything to my meal. So like, why am I eating it? I also had like a day or two where I had like metal taste on my tongue, which I hear happens to some women, but for me it went away like within a day or two, so that was great. But it was just really, really weird that I had that taste in my mouth. At 11 weeks, I wrote that I was still a little gassy, but not as bad as it was before. I have been eating lots of cereal, lots of old childhood favorites such as string cheese, some sodas that I had growing up that I hadn't drank soda since I was in high school. 12 weeks, even I think a little bit before that, I noticed that like my denim shorts did not fit anymore because I was always really bloated. That's something I didn't write down, especially towards the evening. So my shorts don't fit anymore. I'm living in skirts and dresses at this point. Oh, and at 13 weeks, I did write that my acne started clearing up. So that was fabulous for me. And then at 14 weeks, I put that I stopped feeling as gassy. Yeah, I don't really feel that gassy anymore. So I'm filming this at 17 weeks. I'm filming it a little bit late. Here we are. I'll post a picture of my bump at around 15 weeks. So I think it's definitely noticeable, but maybe it just looks like I had like a really big lunch or something. I don't know. That is it for this video. If you want to follow me along on this pregnancy journey, I would love to have you, whether it's here on YouTube or on my Instagram. On my Instagram, I'll be posting more kind of pregnancy fashion and how I'm styling my bump this season. But yeah, I have a bunch of fun new baby related videos planned out. So please subscribe so you don't miss out on that, and also give me a thumbs up before you leave. I would really appreciate it. And that is it. I'll see you next time.